Hello folks, welcome to another Let's Play, this time of Dragon Age Origins, one of my all-time favourite games. Now, one thing I need to tell you about Dragon Age Origins is that it doesn't really like being recorded. It's a very old game from 2009 and it doesn't quite sync up quite well with OBS. So, what you will see in a second is behind the scenes, a little bit of OBS before we get into actually playing the game. So forgive the inception you're about to see, because watch this. Oh yes. Oh yes indeed. Alright, one thing I've got to admit before we start. Part of the reason when I created the channel, part of the reason for me creating the channel, was, one, yes, you know, my normal channel isn't really one where I want to do Let's Plays on, you know, it would, like, dilute the content that's already on there, but number two, it gave me an excuse to play games like this again. Because Dragon Age Origins, very much like a director's first movie, a band's first album, they've thought about it for a while. And you can tell the BioWare team thought about this game for a while, a long time, before they actually sat down and started to develop it, and write it, and make it. This is the game that the old guard of BioWare always wanted to make. Whenever they were making Baldur's Gate, people left the team, people joined. Whenever they were making Star Wars The Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic, people left, people joined. But the main old guard always wanted to do a fantasy game in their own setting where they were beholden to nobody and they could decide what they wanted to do. And by the way, Dragon Age was never supposed to be a series. People are often quite surprised by that, but it was never actually meant to be a series. It was supposed to be one game, Dragon Age Origins, and that's it. And they were going to go off and do something else. You know? Absolutely mind boggles, I know. Because Dragon Age is a franchise now. It's a huge franchise, for better or worse. And I love the Dragon Age games. I think they're great. But I don't think any other Dragon Age game and any other game captured the heart of Dragon Age Origins. Because look at that title screen in the top right-hand corner of the screen there. That right there is the greatest fantasy RPG ever made. Fight me in the street. Bring your Witcher 3s, bring your Skyrims, bring whatever. It doesn't matter. This is the greatest one. This is the greatest one. Does it have its rough edges? Yes. Is it in the art category? Also, yes. For those of you who know about my channel, we grade games on 1 to 10, and we also have an art category that is above the 1 to 10. The art category basically means that if somebody says to me, oh, I really like Citizen Kane as a movie, it's a real work of art. Or someone says, oh, I really like this Van Gogh painting, it's a real work of art. I can say, well, this video game ticks all the same boxes. It is also a work of art, right? Metal Gear Solid 3 stayed in that category when we played that last time. We will see if Dragon Age Origins does too. I'm going to tell you now, it will, right? It is in that category. It is one of 5 or 6 games, I think it's just 5, that are in the art category for me. The rest, amazing games. You know, The Witcher 3 is a 10 out of 10, no problem. Is it in the art category? No. No. There are too many games like The Witcher 3 that feel like The Witcher 3 out there, right? I know, people are going to say that's sacrilege, but it's true, right? To me, nothing feels quite like Dragon Age Origins. Not even other Dragon Age games. Every other isometric RPG that I play has nothing on this. It's not the same. You know, it just isn't the same. I did a video the other day about Dragon Age Origins, waxing lyrical. I love it to pieces, man. And no game has come close. No, not Baldur's Gate 3. doesn't come close. I will do a video on why in the near future, but safe to say, the heart and soul of Dragon Age Origins is not in Baldur's Gate 3. Different thing entirely, made for deviants and perverts. This is a dark fantasy epic. This is what this is. There are a few mods downloaded. These mods are mainly quality of life mods. They're not really anything huge. We have armor sets, so the Grey Warden armor looks like it does in later games. We have an extra slot for our dog to join the party all the time. We have a skip the fade, because the fade is one big misstep in this game that even the developers have said they really regret it being in the game, and so I take it out. We have a no helmet hack to make sure that, you know, helmets on switching through anywhere. The fixes, general fixes, things like that, you know, nothing really game-changing is being added to the game. So, without further ado, here is my favourite fantasy RPG of all time, Dragon Age Origins. Let's dive straight in, shall we, to the game that the old guard of BioWare, who aren't there anymore, always wanted to make. And finally, when they made this game, they got their chance. Oh boy, did they take it.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Right. So here is the main gimmick of Dragon Age Origins. Well, the Origins. They are the main thing that you are going to be going through the game with, and it is one of the rare examples of a game such as this where the Origins actually do carry through the entire game. How characters react to you in the world really do rely on what origin you choose. Now, those of you who've watched my previous video on the kind of character that I wanted to play in Dragon Age, I wanted to go back to my first character, who was a human noble. My human noble was called Royce, after an uncle of mine who died as I was playing Dragon Age Origins on one of my playthroughs, and I've not played as him for a long time. Normally I go with a dwarf after the fact, because I like the dwarf noble. I think it's really funny. But human noble is what we're going to go with. I think it gives us the best baseline for us to build our new save game that we're going to port into Dragon Age the Veilguard when we come to it later on. So, let's do that, shall we? Born to wealth and power, second only to royalty, you find your training in both diplomacy and battle put to the test as your brother leads the bulk of your family's forces to war in the south.
Greetings.
Right, we're not going to stick with this guy. He looks like a crack addict. So we're going to go over here. Where is he? There's one character. There we go. This is the character I kind of think is alright to look at. It's fine. Skin complexion. We'll go... He's young, so we'll go with it. So, how do I roleplay Royce? So, in terms of Dragon Age, I roleplay Royce as a bit of a brat to start with. He's a bit of a dick. I'm not gonna lie. He's the younger son of a noble lord, right? So, yeah, go figure. He's a bit of a shagger. He's a bit of a ladies' man, right? He doesn't have very many. He doesn't have very many responsibilities. He was never meant to rule, is what I'm trying to say, and he's never wanted to. He likes fighting, he likes whoring, and he likes, drinking with the men. He's that kind of a guy. He doesn't really do much else in terms of that, right? He's more of a how do I do this? How do I get the tip to angle downwards? Doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. So he's more of a he was never meant to rule. He was never meant to be the main man in the whole kingdom, in the whole. What was I going to say? He was never meant to be the main man in his own family. His brother Fergus is the older brother. He's going to be the leader of the family. He's the one who's being groomed to rule. And Royce has been left to basically his own devices. They basically say to him, look, you're the younger son. You can do what you want. We're not going to force you to do anything. We're not going to force you to... he didn't really have any expectations placed upon him, is what I'm trying to say. And in doing so, he does what all men would do if they're in, well, most men would do if they were in that position. He does whatever the fuck he wants. And has fun, it just is what it is. As we play him, he will grow, he will mature, he will become more, shall we say, stoic, I guess, and more dependable as the game goes on. He does become the leader of the party later on, which, it is a good thing for him. Like, I quite like the fact that he does that. And Royce is one of those characters that I really loved role-playing, because you could really sense he grew it during the story, which is not something that you always get in terms of in games like this. I think that looks fine, right? That looks okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Skin complexion, I want to change that a little bit more to not look like a crack addict. There we go. Hair. Now, it's very important that I don't change the hair colour, because the hair colour is essentially his mum's hair colour. The one thing I really like in Dragon Age, I think it's great, is the fact that Dragon Age actually lets you create a character, right, that looks like your parents. It is cool. And this is pretty much what his mum looks like. So he takes after his mum. So when we see his mum, she has grey hair, of course. When we see his mum, he will look kind of like that. So background is going to be a bluish colour. blue? Is there a blue? Ah, there we go. That's cool. And expression is going to be like that. Voice. Now, the voice is, just like in most Dragon Age, not Dragon Age, Dungeons and Dragons RPGs, the voices aren't very good. Listen to this.
No, it is gone.
How do you do?
Greetings.
Greetings. Charmed, I'm sure.
Greetings.
Ah, my spell! My weapon does nothing! You're in my way.
Now, that voice sounds brilliant to me, but they don't say very much when you're in the game.
How do you do?
Oops, where's my head? Greetings.
We'll go with that one. And obviously, he is called Royce. So even Aidan doesn't work. I don't know why BioWare did that. Why did they name him that? Like, it just doesn't work. Right, we've got 5 attribute points to spend, and we're gonna go with... He doesn't have low... There we go, I think that's about right. Because he's gonna be a dual wielder, really. So, dual weapon sweep. Dual weapon training. Alright. Off we go.
For generations, your family, the Couslands, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Cousland's banner in service to the crown. Not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
So I'm not going to read out the speech marks in the bottom left there. I'm just going to select them, and you can see what I'm selecting. So all Rendon Howe is actually voiced by Tim Curry, which is really cool. I'm a huge Tim Curry fan. Have you anyone who's ever played Command and Conquer? Do you know what? Tell you what, we've got it here. Let's let me do see if I can do it. See if I can do it. One sec. Let's go YouTube and Tim Curry. Here we go.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
And there we are. There's Tim Curry. I love him. The fact that he loses it, he very nearly loses it in that. You know, apparently they did like 20 takes of that, and he just couldn't get the line because he just kept laughing, and you can just see him losing his shit. Space. This is my favorite line ever. Anyway, I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad. Right. What do I say? Was I brought here for a reason? Yeah, so he's going to be like quite flippant with him.
Since your brother is leading our forces south and I'm going with the Arl, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
Do you know what? I will read them. Why not? I will read them. Like, what? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus?
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
Let me talk to her. I'll convince her.
I doubt that. You know your mother, and she made it clear there is no debate. This is no needless task. I ask you to take a great responsibility. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please,
watch this
show
guy.
Duncan in.
Just punches himself in the face. Yeah, that's dedication.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
They defeated they defeated Darkspawn long ago.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we'd had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
Is there a reason I shouldn't join them?
You did just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Don't strain my abilities or anything.
And don't strain my patience.
Sorry?
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Where is he?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Alright. So.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
I was hoping to ask you a quick question or two.
Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
Are there really Darkspawn in the south?
Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kaelan took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly.
How many Darkspawn are there?
Thousands. Perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the Darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface.
How much danger are Fergus and my father in?
Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure this is a blight, and not simply some large Darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves once we arrive at the King's camp.
Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You're young, skilled, and eager for battle. Or so I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
Did you really come all this way to see Sir Gilmore?
I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king.
You know the king?
Not well. King Cailan is an eager young man who has shown great wisdom in responding to the Darkspawn threat.
I've heard he's a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the king's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the Darkspawn before they threaten all of Ferelden.
I'll leave you alone then.
Until we speak again.
Yes?
How long have you and father been friends?
We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You knew King Maric?
Your father hasn't spoken about time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Cailan isn't half that.
You don't think much of him?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship, as per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
You said your daughter was interested in me?
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I got the impression Delilah didn't like me.
I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
We'll see.
I'm sure there will be much to discuss once I return.
I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
You said it was your fault.
In a manner of speaking. If I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
Well, I just wanted to wish you well.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Greetings, my lord. You are the Terran's son, are you not?
How is it that you don't know who I am?
I am a member of Alhal's personal guard. The rest of the Arl's forces are expected tonight. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march.
That's a little nosy.
I apologize. Good evening, my lord.
Oh, front door does work, okay. So as castles go, it's actually not very big, is it? No, it is actually really big. No, yeah. Silly me. No. Talking rubbish.
Good evening, my lord.
Evening.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, Happy to see you too.
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
She's just blowing off steam. She's always been like that.
Your mother disagrees. She insists you collect the dog, and quickly. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
You know it's better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
I need to talk to my brother first.
Your mother was quite specific. Unless the castle is under attack, you get that dog before doing anything else. Her words, not mine. Before we go, my lord, might I beg a question? I've heard from several people that a Grey Warden is here. Is that true?
Yep. I've met him.
Then, is it also true that this Grey Warden was asking after me?
He intends to test you for recruitment.
Maker's breath. Are you certain? Can you imagine? Me, a Grey Warden? It would be everything I've dreamed of. Of course, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Pardon my outburst.
It's alright.
Oh, my lord, we were just,
Playing cards?
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here.
Don't worry, I won't say anything.
We appreciate that, my lord. Thank you.
Always good to know. I'm wondering with what happens in the story, whether, like, your dad already knows that Harl Redenhout isn't really to be trusted. You know? Dining hall.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Maybe you should be put down.
What? That monster is in my larder, slobbering all over the bacon, and you're insulting me?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the Turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
And please, we'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Okay.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here? He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
So I know a lot of people call the dog Barkspawn, but I don't know why you would. So I'm calling him Luthias after a... It is actually a legend in the game, but I'll get to it a bit later on when we're told about it. But it's a story that Royce would have heard, so... There you go.
Come on, refuse to the post. Now, better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Push me back.
like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Those were very large rats.
I've seen larger. They come up from the Kokari wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
One thing that they did lose in later Dragon Ages was the sheer amount of blood you get on you in 1 and 2. It's amazing.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lord. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about. Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes?
I'll just go.
Adney, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Old bat, am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining.
Have you tried whipping them?
Oh, there's no need for that. Don't think I don't see you there, Kath.
She's got eyes in the back of her head, she does.
Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. And don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lord? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope?
Why would I say anything but yes?
Huh, clever whelp. That mouth of yours will get you into trouble one day. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you? The dog that bit?
Not too well, no.
Bless me. I used to tell you that one every night, I did. I thought it was your favourite. Before our fathers' fathers came down from the mountains, a warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son.
He grew prideful?
The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
Strong or not, he chose him. Yeah, I'm thirsty. I'll just go get a drink.
No, you won't. The tale's nearly through. You stay right here. When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called. But the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
Bold move.
No, an impulsive and prideful one. The chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
Old nurses tell boring stories. No, don't abuse your power. Yeah.
Exactly. Hahaku took advantage of a position he thought he was entitled to. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, hmm?
You aren't comparing my Mabari to Hahaku, are you?
It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
We will serve you while the Terran is away.
We will serve you well while the Terran is gone.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
You're gonna hear that phrase a lot. Just saying.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my younger son. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Nan's head exploded and my hound ate the kitchen staff.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Weren't you drunk?
I'm so proud of my pup's mastery of tact and diplomacy.
Well, it was a lovely salon, from what little I remember.
Which wouldn't be much, considering we had to pour you into the carriage afterwards.
You remember my son, Dyron. I believe you two sparred in the last tournament.
And you beat me handily, as I recall. It's good to see you again, my lord.
You're being modest. You fought very well.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona.
Heyo!
Do say something, dear.
It is a great honor, my lord. I have heard many wonderful things about you.
Don't look now, Eleanor. But I believe the girl has a crush on your lad.
Lady Landra!
Hush, Landra. You'll turn the poor thing scarlet.
I can handle my own affairs, thank you.
All evidence to the contrary.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your lordship.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden here?
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
The Darkspawn have returned and Grey Wardens are needed.
There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Do you know where he might be?
If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
Why can't I go with them?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off, but we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
Yeah, I think that he is afraid of being left on his own, yeah. What if they fall without him?
It's in the Maker's hands now, and we must cope as best we can.
Got a bad feeling about all this.
As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me, but it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty, and we have ours.
Are you staying with me?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate, and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
Yeah, I don't think you should go.
Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long.
Fair enough.
I love you, my darling boy. You know that, don't you?
What brought this on?
You've grown up so fast. And now Bryce is leaving you in charge of the castle. I suppose there's no point in dwelling on it. Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Okay.
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
No, it isn't.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Still the same taskmaster, I see.
If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
Yeah, I know about it.
Perhaps you could make the topic more palatable for these lads and their minuscule intellects.
Very well.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yeah?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man.
Your lecturing does lead to yawning.
A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue. At any rate, your family has held the tournure of Highever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Cousland battled Calenhad to maintain Highever's independence.
You opposed the king?
The Couslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached Highever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And you let us keep the Tyrrnia?
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
When was our line founded?
Well, records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
Tell me about our relationship with Al Howe.
The history between the Couslands and the Howes reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy Highever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the tourneur's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
As was our right, the Howes are our vassals.
True, but if you expect to rule simply on writ, you'll find yourself ousted by a coalition of angry Arls. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson there, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. That's myself all this one.
Good evening.
Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true? I'm going to be a knight just like my father. Then I'll kill Darkspawn too.
All right, all right.
Hello again. Your castle study is wonderful. Might I ask whose collection this is?
My grandfather's, but I often come in here to read.
So would I. Do you have a favorite book?
The Art of Passionate Love by Brother Capria.
Oh, that was banned by the Chantry, wasn't it? Quite provocative, I understand. I've never read it myself.
It's not really meant for reading.
No, I'd heard that. Hence the banning.
So you're riding with my father tomorrow?
Yes, though I don't know when. I will leave when your father does. I'll ride as his second. Glorified squire, more or less. I'll care for his horse and armor and such. It's quite an honor.
Will you actually fight?
I hope so. I admit trepidation about facing Darkspawn, but I can't imagine an opponent more worthy of defeat.
You consider it an honor to do menial tasks?
Unlike you, I am no child of a great house. If I can rise within the ranks of your father's service, it is more than I could normally hope for. I'm a bit surprised that you're not riding alongside your brother. Is that disappointing?
Are you implying something?
Implying? Not at all. I'm simply curious. If you're interested, I shall record what I can during the battle. My writing skills may be lacking, but I hope to convey a true sense of the warrior's experience. Writing such an important work is one of my ambitions.
Do you know anything about the Grey Wardens?
No more than anyone else. Is it true there is one here in the castle? Have you met him?
Yeah, it's true. I've met him.
I'd join the Grey Wardens in a heartbeat. Can you imagine destroying the Darkspawn forever? Becoming a hero? But I'd never gain a Grey Warden's notice. I'll have to be happy under your father's command.
Let's talk about me. I like that topic.
I don't actually know you that well, my lord. I know of you, but that is not the same thing.
What have you heard about me exactly?
Everyone says you're more likely to succeed the Tarn than your brother is. That the Cousland line has never been stronger. I don't know about here, but outside your castle, people discuss your family a great deal. Some say your father should have been king instead of Kaelin. But it is just talk, I think, born of affection for your father.
I'd have to get to know you better.
I'd like that. What did you have in mind?
Tell me about yourself.
There's not much to tell. I am the eldest son of a minor lord. I can't imagine I'm anyone very interesting to you.
Okay. Maybe we can talk when you return from the south.
I would be glad of the chance to get to know you better. Until then.
Oh, a book.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent. Greetings once again, my lord.
Royce is gonna do Royce things here.
My family has been in service to hers for many years. Lady Landra elevated my place as a reward for our loyalty. I hope this position might pass to my daughter.
Uh-huh.
Forgive me, I shouldn't have mentioned her. She does. Many people say she looks a great deal like me. I'm the only one who sees her father in her.
Okay.
I have risen very high for my people. I would not tempt fate by wishing more. Lady Landra is good to her elven servants. That is not true in many households, but I hear it is in yours. It speaks well of your father to show such compassion. Lady Landra has been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, your mother has no ladies-in-waiting herself. Is that usual for a noblewoman of her rank?
She doesn't care to be fussed over.
That is not a sentiment I see amongst other noblewomen.
Tell me about you.
I am an open book, my lord. What would you like to know?
Where were you born?
Lady Landra's manor is not half so large as your castle, so my family lives in the alienage.
Do you enjoy living there?
There, we do not stand out quite so much. In an alienage, my daughter learns what it means to be Elven, as much as possible. So much of our history has been lost.
What do you think of humans?
That is an awkward question. What do you mean?
Do you find them attractive? The reverse is true enough.
Some humans, yes, without question.
Is there anyone special back home?
No longer. I have little time for such things.
The reason why I'm not reading these out, by the way, like, the writing is that good that I don't want my missus walking past the room and thinking I'm chatting up some woman on the internet. Right, that's why I'm not reading it out. Just saying.
You flatter me, my lord. I am not so pretty that suitors are lining up, if that's what you mean. Of course. Aren't we doing just that? What else did you have in mind? I see. I think I might like that. If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lord?
The way he says, yes, that would be very agreeable.
Until tonight, then.
Doesn't say call me Royce or anything. No. Know your place. I'll see you later. Oh. Terrible.
Good evening, my lord.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
I don't see the point.
I would think a man who desires to spend his life on the battlefield would show more humility.
I told you before, I don't really believe in the Maker. Yeah, I don't think anyone answers our prayers, Malol.
The prophet Andraste herself once doubted the path before her. Perhaps we should pray as she did. Creator of the heavens, world and seas, we beseech you. Your son is astray, lost in the wood of desolation. May the flame of your truth guide him home. So let it be. I sincerely hope your soul is at ease. Now I shall pray for your father and your brother.
God.
Join in if your heart compels you. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need. Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be. Your faith is silent tonight. I hope you are just deep in reflection. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I cannot. Many await my attendance before they march into the unknown. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
There's one thing about priests in this game that I always notice. They always act like they're too busy for you when they're not actually doing anything. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it's something I've noticed. We'll see you later. Alright.
Good evening, my lord.
Okay. I think this is my room, is it not? Pretty snazzy.
Is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little brother to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
You two are nauseating me. Just let me know when you two are finished.
When there's a woman in your life, you'll understand.
No fewer than 3, if you please.
Bold words, little brother. I mean a real woman, not a turn in the straw.
Fergus!
A turd in the straw?
You like to play in the stable too, Uncle? I like to hide in the hay.
Don't you listen to this. If I catch you with your clothes full of straw again, I'll send you to Mother Mallow.
But Mama, she talks forever.
Do you know there's a Grey Warden in the castle?
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Orin. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come?
He's going to test Sir Gilmore.
Good for him. I hope he makes it. If I were a Grey Warden, though, I'd have my eye on you. Not that Father would ever allow it.
Do you really think it'll be over really quickly?
Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or 2.
Bring a message. Father wants you to go without him.
Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
A good shield would be more useful.
The Maker sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Orin. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, Maker's breath. I swear it's like living with a pack of small boys.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, brother, won't you?
She can handle herself, always have.
It's true. They should be sending her, not me. She would scold those Darkspawn back into the deep roads.
Well, I'm glad you find this so funny.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
If you should need any assistance in the coming days, I would be glad to offer it.
Mama says you're going to be watching over us while Papa is gone. Is that true, Uncle?
I wish you wouldn't call me that.
But you're my uncle. What else could I call you, silly?
Your uncle no doubt thinks it makes him sound too old, Orin.
But he is old. But not as old as you, Mama.
This is your influence, Fergus.
What? I didn't say anything.
Are you going to teach me to use a sword, Uncle? Then I can fight evil too. Take that, dire bunny. All Darkspawn, fear my sword of truthiness.
Truthiness?
We're teaching him about honesty.
Don't worry, son. You'll get to see a sword up close real soon. I promise.
Oh, that's dark as fuck. That's dark as fuck. Bioware, you sick people. Oh, you'll, yeah.
Best do as your father says, darling. I will see you in the morning, bright and early.
Getting sent to bed early, are we?
I don't mind, I have someone waiting for me.
What? You sly dog.
Fergus, really?
It's the elven lass that arrived with Lady Landra, isn't it? Don't you tell me it isn't. At any rate, I'll miss you. Take care of everyone, and be here when I get back.
You should be on your way, pup. Long day ahead tomorrow.
Are you sure you'll be alright?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Cousland name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Is sending all of our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These Darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
I know you will. You are a Cousland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
About this Grey Warden.
Ah, I was wondering how long this would take. Has he asked to recruit you?
And if he did?
If he did, then I would have to consider it. If a blight is truly upon us in the south, then Grey Wardens will be needed. There is no higher calling. If it comes to that, we can talk about it when I get back. Until then, just show him every courtesy. Duncan is a fine man. And a hero.
Alright, I'll go.
I know that you'll do me proud. You've grown into a fine lad. That much is clear.
Alright, just one sec. Sorry about that. That's something to sort out. Right, let's go.
Your hound is making so much noise. He seems so angry.
Perhaps something's wrong.
I thought I heard yelling when I woke up, but now I hear nothing. I'm gonna see if someone's in the hall.
Okay, no one does that to my woman and lives.
This'll be fun! Die already! That's right, come on! Fucking horrors, I'll rip you apart!
Okay. We can level up. I think to get to all these, you need dexterity, right? Yeah, you need dexterity. Okay. We'll do that then. Oh, shit.
heard fighting outside and I feared the worst. Are you hurt?
Can you imagine running out and seeing your son just like naked, just beating the shit out of 4 armed men? Just like... those men killed Iona.
What? The elven girl? But why? Her scream woke me up. There were men in the hall, so I barred the door. Did you see their shields? Those are Hal's men. Why would they attack us?
He's betrayed father. He attacked whilst our troops are gone.
You don't think Hal's men were delayed? On purpose? That bastard. I'll cut his lying throat myself. Have you seen your father? He never came to bed.
Maybe he stayed up with all Hal.
We must find him.
Okay, we should check on Oriana and Oren as well.
And trust his mercy. What if the soldiers went into your brother's room first? Let's check on them quickly. Then we'll look for Bryce downstairs.
Let me get my clothes first, and I'll do just that. Where's my room? Poor girl. All I'm thinking of is that there's a daughter out there as well who's like, you know, orphaned now. That's terrible.
Now's better than later.
But Dragon Age doesn't pull its punches. I'll say that much. You know? It really doesn't. Right, I'm dressed. Let's go.
I see enemies ahead.
How dare you come
Oh, satisfying.
I'll get on it.
Oh, dear Landra. I'm so sorry. If she hadn't come to me, if she hadn't been here.
Got it. Now's better than later.
No! My little Oren. What manner of fiend slaughters innocents? How is not even taking hostages? He means to kill all of us. Oh, poor fuckers. Let's go. I don't want to see this. Can you hear the fighting? Hal's men must be everywhere.
You should take the fight to them.
Don't be foolish. You would throw your life away? The front gates. That's where your father must be.
Can't just let Hal win.
Listen, darling. We haven't much time. If we can't find your father, you must get out of here alive. Without you and Fergus, the entire Cousland line dies here. If Hal's men are inside, they must already control the castle. We must use the servants' entry in the larder to escape. Do you hear me?
I want Hal dead.
Then survive, and visit vengeance upon him.
She's got a point, I suppose.
The castle has fallen! I'm getting out of here!
Bloody coward, stay and fight.
Yes, my lord! Here they come!
I will drive you from our lands myself!
Shit, I didn't realise he was on his own. He's held off all these dudes, wow. hard to hit this thing? Like, what's going on?
I'm gonna take you with me.
I'll get on it. Die, you fiend!
Regret this. I'm gonna take you with me.
Well, I guess the servant died. Did he die? I've not seen him. He's dead.
All right, all right.
Aldous, you will be avenged, old sage. I swear it.
I can't open that.
We're getting close to the treasury. The Cousland family blade lies inside. Here, darling, take my key. My blade cannot fall into Hal's hands. It should sever his treacherous head.
I wonder how these already died if it was locked. Maybe the people locked it when they decided they couldn't get it in here. Cool. I think I can wear this. Alright, let's go. Who next?
Where's the Terran? Does he live?
I don't know, let's go find him. I really wish these guys would follow you. Oh no, they do follow you. It's brilliant. Okay.
Man the gate! Keep those bastards out as long as you can! Your ladyship, my lord, you're both alive. I was certain Hal's men had gotten through.
Yeah.
When I realized what was happening, it was all I could do to shut the gates. But they won't keep Hal's men out long. If you've another way out of the castle, use it quickly.
Where's the Grey Warden?
I've no idea. You don't think he's involved in this, do you?
Perhaps he was sent to kill Bryce? Oh dear. Have you seen him?
When I last saw the Terran, he'd been badly wounded. I urged him not to go, but he was determined to find you. He went towards the kitchen. I believe he thought to find you at the servants' exit in the larder.
Bless you, Sir Gilmore. Make her watch over you.
Make her watch over us all.
What can I do? Now's better than later.
That was so cheeky, that the way she did that magic attack and it just literally knocked him out straight away. Like, it's the start of the game. Let me learn, please. I played it many times before, but still. Actually, I should probably give you a bow, shouldn't I? There you go.
So you can get off my back.
We must get out! They're slaughtering everyone!
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Let's see what you're made of! Someone's gonna fall and fall me! All right. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Where are we going? It's not that way.
Now's better than later.
This way?
I'll get on it. Now's better than later.
Love how you just choose through these dudes. Brilliant. There's old Nan dead. It's the last thing we need.
There, you both are. I was
Bryce.
wondering when you would get here.
Maker's blood, what's happening? You're bleeding.
Hal's men found me first. Almost did me in right there.
Yeah, I'll kill Hal for what he's done.
He can't get away with this. The king will...
Bryce, we must get you out of here.
I won't survive the standing, I think. Only if you're willing to leave pieces of me behind, pup.
Bryce, this is no time for jokes! Once Hal's men break through the gate, they will find us. We must go.
Someone must reach Burgess. Tell him what has happened.
And take vengeance.
Yes. Vengeance.
Bryce, no. The servant's passage is right here. We can flee together, find you healing magic.
The castle is surrounded. I cannot make it.
I'm afraid the Tern is correct. House men have not yet discovered this exit, but they surround the castle. Getting past will be difficult.
You are Duncan, then? The Grey Warden?
Yes, your ladyship. The Tern and I tried to reach you sooner.
My younger son helped me get here. Make her be praised.
I am not surprised.
You didn't see me with the mage. She kind of kicked my ass, but it's fine. Thank you for saving my father.
I fear your thanks are premature. I doubt I have saved him.
Whatever is to be done now, it must be quick. They are coming.
Duncan, you are under no obligation to me, but I beg you, take my wife and son to safety.
I will, your lordship, but I fear I must ask for something in return.
Anything!
What is happening here pales in comparison to the evil now loose in this world. I came to your castle seeking a recruit. The Darkspawn threat demands that I leave with one.
I understand.
What if something's happened to Fergus?
The king will see justice done. The Grey Wardens, however, must face the Darkspawn above all else.
He is right, pup.
I will take the Tyrna and your son to Ostagar to tell Fergus and the king what happened. Then, your son joins the Grey Wardens.
So long as justice comes to Hal. I agree.
Then I offer you a place within the Grey Wardens. Fight with us.
My duty is to take vengeance on all Hal.
We will inform the king, and he will punish Hal. I'm sorry, but a Grey Warden's duties take precedence even over vengeance.
Hal thinks he'll use the chaos to advance himself. Make him wrong, pup. See that justice is done. Our family always does our duty first. The Darkspawn must be defeated. You must go. For your own sake and for Ferelden's.
We must leave quickly then.
Bryce, are you sure?
Our son will not die of Hal's treachery. He will live and make his mark on the world.
Darling, go with Duncan. You have a better chance to escape without me.
Eleanor.
Hush, Bryce. I'll kill every bastard that comes through that door to buy them time. But I won't abandon you.
What? Yeah, won't let you sacrifice yourself.
My place is with your father. At his side to death and beyond.
I'm so sorry it's come to this, my love.
We had a good life and did all we could. It's up to our children now.
Then go, pup. Warn your brother. You know that we love you both. You do us proud.
They've broken through the gates. We must go now.
Goodbye, darling.
We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kalen. I didn't expect
a royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met.
Are you not even aware my father is dead?
Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Cousland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken Highever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word.
What kind of justice?
He will hang. I know that will not bring your family back, but Howe will not profit from this. No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds.
He may be in danger.
We are all in danger, my friend. Nothing can be done until your brother returns, and that will not be until the battle is over. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being.
What do you know of my grief?
Your Majesty, I apologize.
Don't worry, Duncan. You must both be eager to reach your tents. Have you any news before I go?
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You seem very confident of that.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true Blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
You didn't seem to take the Darkspawn threat very seriously.
True. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
Why not? He seems to regard the Grey Wardens quite highly.
Yet not enough to wait for reinforcements from the Grey Wardens of Orlais. He believes our legend alone makes him invulnerable. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Terran Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay.
What do you mean, what ritual? Well, yeah, a hot meal might be nice first.
I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon.
I need to find Fergus.
You heard what the king said. He is scouting in the wilds and beyond contact. Be patient. He will return.
Why is this ritual so secret?
The Joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
Am I the only recruit you have?
No, there are 2 other recruits here already. They have been waiting for us to arrive.
What do you want me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Alright. Cool, huh? Well, that is the end of the first part of Dragon Age Origins, and one other thing I love about doing Dragon Age Origins is that the game is just set up to be streamed or recorded in nice little neat chunks, and here we are. This is the first part, the origin, the towns of Highever, the Couslands of Highever, and I'll be back next time with what should be the Battle of Ostagar, but we'll see. Alright, see you soon. Have a good one. Oh yeah, you're going to see some more OBS. This would be cool.